The Trump administration has targeted its perceived enemies 11 times in the last 2 weeks. So let's break that down. Firstly, Trump got rid of Pam Bondi apparently because he was frustrated with her performance. He felt that she wasn't aggressive enough in prosecuting his critics and adversaries. Now, her temporary replacement, Todd Blanche, he then said Trump has a right to shape federal probes of individuals who investigated Trump previously. He doesn't have that right. Then the top enforcement official at the US Security and Exchange Commission resigned abruptly. Apparently, he'd clashed with agency leaders over the direction of his enforcement program. Basically, this guy wanted to investigate people close to Trump and his family, potentially involved in fraud or misconduct, but he was kind of being warned off it. And so he left basically because he felt he wasn't fairly allowed to do his job. The Federal Communications Commission's chair announced proudly that Trump is winning his feud against the fake news media. So he said, President Trump took on the fake news media and President Trump is winning. Then Trump kind of revived his feud on New York Attorney General Letitia James. He posted about prosecuting her 14 times in 5 days. She previously brought a major civil fraud case against him. Trump has also been attacking journalists. So he threatened to jail a journalist who reported that a second US airman was missing after being shot down by Iran. And then in a separate press briefing, Trump also attacked New York Times journalist Dolan Cano-Youngs, calling him fake, shouting at the New York Times as failing. Trump then also announced a fresh crackdown on fraud in Democratic states. Immediately afterwards, officials announced a string of arrests in California. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law a measure that gave him and other state officials the power to designate groups as terrorist organizations and then to expel students who support them. It empowers the state's chief of domestic security, the governor and the cabinet to designate any organization they determine engages in extremist acts as a terrorist organization. The new Department of Homeland Security Secretary Mullen also recently said that customs officials could stop processing international travelers at major US airports in sanctuary cities in Democrat-led states that have declined to cooperate with the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. This has included Denver, Philadelphia, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Seattle, and San Francisco. And so this could potentially be quite devastating for tourism in those states. And then finally, reporting emerged this week that in January, the Undersecretary of War, Colby, summoned Pope Leo XIV, then Cardinal Ambassador to the United States, and basically delivered a lecture. He told the Cardinal that America has the military power to do whatever it wants in the world and that the Catholic Church had better take its side or else. I think it is quite something when you have the president directly threatening the Pope.